Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Alberta News and Views. Today, Chrystia Freeland made an announcement of $500 million for youth mental health, and that will be included in Budget 2024. But that's not the important part. The important part is when she is asked about the Premier's meeting for the carbon tax. Chrystia doesn't answer the question, but what she does is she actually says the quiet part out loud, finally, on why there is a carbon tax. It is about carbon credits and global trade. We know this. And it is a wealth transfer. We know this as well. And it has very little, if nothing, if not nothing to do with lowering emissions, because it is not lowering emissions. Listen to this. And then I got a lot of information, actually. I'll make this as quick as I can. Watch this, and then I'll try to do a breakdown of just how bad it is and how bad it potentially can be for all of us. Here we go.
Prime Minister, there's an Opposition Day motion today calling on your government to hold an emergency carbon tax meeting with the premiers, all premiers. Will you hold that meeting?
Our government has been very clear, and the Prime Minister has been very clear about our position on the price on pollution. I think any discussion of the price on pollution needs to start with the reality. And that is that our rebates deliver more money to 8 out of 10 Canadians than they pay in. The rebates are really an affordability measure that help the most vulnerable. We can't lose sight of that in this conversation. Second thing that is really, really important, and I'm speaking now as the finance minister, for us to recognize is in 2024, it is not possible to have an economic plan without having a climate plan. And the reason for that is really simple. Canada is a trading nation. If we want foreign investors to invest in Canada, if we want other countries to buy what we are producing, we need to have a strong climate plan. Otherwise, Canada will simply not be able to participate in the global economy. And that is really important for people to recognize as well. And then finally, since you raised the question of the premiers, I think it's really important also for us all to remember that there are a couple of provinces and a territory who have their own provincial territorial climate plans. Those meet the federal benchmark. They work. They are widely supported by the people of BC, by the people of Quebec. Those are plans, by the way, that were put in place, in BC by a center-right government, a world-leading plan. And our government is really, really open to any province or territory coming forward with its own provincial or territorial plan. That's a conversation we'd love to have.
It's really hard to explain this without a presentation, and I will try and do my best. It is all about carbon credits. So cap and trade. So when she says we're open to the provinces having their own system, it's not a system of lowering emissions. It's a system of a cap and trade to trade carbon credits because it's part of Canada. It needs to be like a wealth transfer. What it is try and imagine that it is just a bunch of elite globalists and businessmen, business people. They all got together and created a scheme of making a currency that doesn't exist, that forces everybody, because they have all the money on the planet, which forces everybody to play their game. If you want to play their game, you have to have carbon credits or a system set up for trade. And that is what she is saying. It's no coincidence that all of these countries that all signed on to the Paris Agreement, to the UN Agenda 30, that signed on to all of these climate accords, all have mass immigration. We all have the exact same problems. All of us. Because they're all implementing the same bullshit policy, whether you like it or not. And that is what she is saying. This is a wealth transfer. There are a lot of people dependent on this tax. And if you don't want the carbon tax, that's fine. just create a system where you can still have a cap and trade so we can at least still make money playing this game. It's monopoly. That's what this is. You can go on carboncredits.com and it lays out absolutely everything you need to know. And if you ever doubt it, follow the money. It has a list of the stocks. I believe it's called Canada Carbon is our big one. They all trade it. There's huge money in this, in carbon taxes or cap and trade or anything green. It's an inclusive mechanism for zillionaires to control and make money. It's like the US dollar, how it became the dominant currency. It forces everybody, the states, everybody in that group, in that club, forces all these other countries to trade in the US dollar. That's what this is doing. It's forcing everybody to trade in carbon now. It's another form of currency. Now, beyond that, it's not working. It's not working because people don't give a shit. They're poor and they want something else. So the only way that the Paris Accord and this will work is if you force a personal carbon allowance. So each and every one of us will be trading our own currency of a carbon credit of some sort. Do this, you get this. If you do this and don't do this, then you will be punished. You will be downgraded in society. They hide this right out in the open. With the world not on track to meet the objectives of the Paris Agreement using current policy tools, personal carbon allowances might offer a new approach. While a PCA scheme would not be easy to design or implement, given the need for very ambitious reduction targets, climate ambitious countries should ask, if not PCAs, what other scheme could be put in place to affect high carbon behaviors in support of the objective of net zero carbon emissions. That is the objective of net zero carbon emissions. And it just, greenhouse gases, carbon footprint of products, requirements and guidelines for quantification. I'm telling you, people, it's unbelievable what world this is. Now, having said that, all of these things that they are dreaming of and scheming to try and make money off of, a lot of them actually make sense if we were a properly functioning planet with the human race. Everybody wants a clean, sustainable planet. But they're using this as a way to make money, as an opportunity. As Chrystia Freeland keeps on saying, this is an opportunity for Canada to be part of the fourth green industrial revolution. They're all in on it, except for you. You are just a working, busy bee and an ant. And if you don't believe that, just listen to Justin Trudeau talk on podcasts. The other day, he called the middle class the gears of Canada, the steel workers. He called them those blue coverall people, those blue overall people. You know those blue overall people over there. He belittles Canadians so bad that we know that he looks at us as just the help, the peasants. And he controls government and he runs his government exactly the same way as he is untouchable, if you haven't noticed already. This is what I'll be talking about later on today. Prime Minister's office received 34 briefings on foreign interference since 2018. Thesis says, since 2018, and this is with the foreign election interference with China. He does not care. He lied, openly lies, over and over and over again. Canadians need to stop looking at him as a politician or a prime minister or just an individual, a person that is there to help you. He is not. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. Is a lie, absolutely. He has lied to Canadians so many times now. I can't believe that he even has a voice with a camera and a microphone. He should be completely disregarded as a politician and a Canadian that actually cares. Same with over half of his ministers and Jagmeet Singh with the NDP. They're all in on it. Every single silent politician that gave themselves a raise and keeps on talking the talk is not there for the people. It is ridiculous at this point. I'll keep you updated as always. Follow me on Substack and Spotify. All of you out there, like, share, and take care.